Hi, how are you? This is Cecilia. Hi. Welcome to the GCCA Facebook Live. And today we are going to run Felting for Kids demo. So as you see, I have a special guest with me. Hello. And she's my daughter. And she will felt along. So I believe a lot of kids are already getting excited because school is almost finished. But then you have more time to create. So how about check out how we create felting to create different things, and which my daughter has been done for many years. So we are going to show you some of the works and some really fun thing. If you have the material, you can felt along. If you don't worry. You can either take classes with me. We can also have Zoom workshops later on for kids. So there you go. So she's getting all excited. I'm going to bring this down and she's going to show what we have.
So here's some examples of things I've made before. These are my first two projects. Oh.
You see the pieces starting to come off, and she started doing that around 4 years old.
And then the next thing we have is this bird. I don't know what bird it is, but it was my first 3D project, and it's this bird. It still looks pretty good. And then I made this little bundle of farm animals with like a chick and some sheep and a horse, which took a long time.
Yeah, she did this during a festival. So when she was young, I started felting when she was about a year. And this is all because of a special baby shower gift we received, and that really got me started to make more memory pieces. So this was a gift from it's like a jingle ball. And then when she was 2, I started to make a birthday cake to remind her birthday, and we kept this for the past 9 years. And since then, she always wanted to copy what I've been doing, so she's been trying to use a marker, pretending using a felting needle. Obviously, there's no sharp needle in it, so she pretend working with the wool. And I record a lot of video and pictures of that. I will show that on my Fantastic Fashion page. But this is the piece that she made during the festival. We often doing demonstrations, so she made that.
Is no one watching it? Can you see how many
sheep and different animals. And later on, she started to make a little bit more, like
sushi. This all started 2nd grade, spring break. And I made this little picture of sushi, and then I decided to make an actual 3D set of sushi with like tamago, tobiko, tuna, and shrimp. And then I made these teeny little ones.
Yeah, this is like recently. So
pretty
get
recent.
Up to challenge, right? A little tiny one.
And then this is my most recent thing. And it's this sunset picture that I took in Greenville.
So yeah, she have practiced. So throughout the years, she's been making different things. So as you can see, there are things that we kept. It's not like really like perfect, but then it's kind of a piece we kept it, as it's a great memory, and she remember all her other things she have created. So I kept all of those, and it's a great memory seeing when and what we've done. And why she keep making, I think she saw me doing this, so I love to work together with her. So I create this kit, as you can see, this project kit that I have created. So my kids always trying to kind of follow, imitate, and then she make her own versions out of it. It's cute. It's cute. So like with felting, there is no right and wrong. It's very forgiving. So it's really up to what you like to do. And I find it really fun. So I really enjoy like felting as a bonding activities. So today we have decided a few special projects because her recent birthday gift theme is about a fox. What's an hedgehog? So her birthday cake, even though we have a neighbor, greenfield artist, she made this eatable one, but we already ate it, so we cannot actually keep it. So I decided to make a copy of the cake that she got, and I used wood to keep it. So that is something we can keep that forever as then remember. And later I'm going to put down her age and also the year at the back, so she know that that is the one piece she got it in 2020.
So we're gonna make a needle felted and wet felted fox. And we have this template for the different pieces of the fox, and you just basically have to take the correct color and just make the shape so that it's around the same shape as the face for the face and so on. And then you can just, yeah.
So I am going to demo a wet felting project while my daughter will start off with her needle felting, and we will go over both. So wet felting, if you have seen my last live video, I show you how we work with wool and how wool can mat together by adding water and soap plus a lot of agitation. That's how to tangle the fiber together. So that's how it works. So we are kind of similar to create like the base. So I'm going to pull my roving. This corridor wool, so it's still doable with wet felting because the micron is about 30 micron. With merino wool, which is even better, merino wool is about 22 microns. So the lower the micron size, the wool will felt each other because they are more fine. But it's still fine with the corridor. And these are the color that I have used to create all the projects. Especially with kids, they love bright color, and I love bright color. Just like this wool bib I made. It was actually my first project. I made it like more than 10 years ago already, and I still love wearing it. And it's kind of bright and cheers up. So with wet felting, we're laying different wool as the pattern as the base. So I also shaping it and create the shape of the fox while she's also preparing her parts. Then she's going to needle felt it. But with wet felting, we cannot do it one part at a time. We actually need to prepare all the parts. So I'm trying to create the shapes. Then the pattern will show much better. So here are the triangle. And you may find out with wet felting, it is more abstract. It is not like needle felting that is as detailed. Again, in these examples, you see that all different stripes, they are done with wet felting. It's kind of like watercolor at the end. But with needle felting, it is more precise. Then you can create lines and shapes, and that's how we can create the painting out of it. And with wet felting, we mainly would create a two-dimensional project because we need to wet felt, but we can still create three-dimensional, make the, it's not like just flat, but mostly is 2D. So I'm going to start off with this 2D wet felting. So what we need to add some soap, and then I'm going to add hot water. So hot water have to hold the project, the water will hold the project down, and then the hot water will help to open up the scales from the natural fiber. So does the hot water as well, the soap. So I'm going to press down and making sure all the pieces are nicely stick together. So this is a perfect project for younger age because they don't need to work with any sharp object. The needle are very sharp. So when I let my young kids to work with needle, I will go through all the details of and also the safety portions, and you all will listen well, and then they followed, and then they're able to create a project. But with web felting, it is more like it's very simple, just adding water with a lot of rubbing. A lot of young kids, they love this web felting. So we're going to add a lot of rubbing. Sometimes I will put my project inside the Ziploc bag. Then you won't make a big mess, get wet everywhere. But I will also work on a tray. So this is how I do. Keep rubbing and rubbing, and then the parts should be all stick together as one piece of web felter. It's really abstract like this. So now my daughter will going to work on the needle felting.
You're explaining.
So for her, we're going to start off with the base of the face, just like how I start off with my web felting. And she start off with a single needle that most of the people who have been using can use this single needle to poke. But we normally use this 2 needle inside. It can help to tuck in the items. So she is trying to use the 2 needle to shape the triangle. So let's take a quick look. So because of the sharp needle, this is a tool. I always let my younger kids to hold on so they're not going to mistakenly stab themselves. But really paying attention, they will work well. And all they do is poke and then attaching the wood together. So my daughter loved to kind of making a lot of badges, keychain, and sometimes with pictures like things from the Pikachu, that she loved to make some Pikachu needle felting, like this one, or like something like the Harry Potter design. So she loved to just to create whatever she had in mind, and a lot of time I encourage my student to draw and then create. So now she had the triangular shape ready. So it's good to start off with this special punch. So this punch has 5 needles, and it's a flat bottom, so it will have to flatten out all the wood really fast. So this is also the same time when I allowed my much younger kids. So I have Asiana's K4, 4 years old. Sometimes I do have like Asiana's 3 years old. So, but I will let them to use these tools because they only grip on the top part, while they always have their hand on the outside. So this is more safe and not to worry about they will stab themselves. So we stay focused and only working on the middle. And then next, she will move on to add the ears. Okay, you can use this. And as you can see, my daughter has been very comfortable using just the needle, and she knows how it works. But for younger kids, I have a special tool. So like you can see, this special tool, they have to use this coffee stir to hold the project, so then they would not going to stab themselves, and really safe way. So this is how I can run classes at school where I have 20 to 30 kids in the same room, and they all doing their needle felting. But it works fine. They all enjoying it. All can accomplish to what they can create. So after they have the ear, we're going to add a little bit white in the middle. And at the same time, I am continue to rub a little bit more because this is not quite ready. We have to keep rubbing for quite some time. So if you don't have this plastic gloves at home, I can actually wrap up some of the plastic bag. Why I'm not using just my hand? Because if your hand get wet, the wool will kind of stick onto your hand, and that is probably not as a good idea. So it's good we use the plastic, because plastic is actually a man-made material that it will not stick onto the wool fiber. But wool itself, it has scales within it, and that's why how it can attach with each other after I put in hot water and soap. So wearing a plastic glove is, or using a plastic bag, it will have to rub and want to make all the fiber stick together even more. As we rub more, the fiber will turn more dense and solid together. Basically, needle felting is the same idea. The needle at the end, the tip, the bottom part, has some notches. It actually kind of catches some of the fiber every time I poke. So that's why they attach, and you can see the work is starting to shrink more. But the difference of wet felting, again, wet felting and needle felting. Wet felting is more abstract. It's harder to create the exact shape, especially a project is very small. But for needle felting, you could do a little bit more precise. So it looks like she's ready for the next part after she put on the ears. So this is how it's been up to right now. So she has created the face and also the ears, and she's now going to work on the one side of the face before she add the eyes. So you enjoy so far?
Yeah.
So we always create different things, and sometimes when she have a certain idea pop up in your head, and then we just make it out of wool.
Yeah. Or cardboard.
Oh, cardboard. So this is a good time, like we can chit chat. So it's a great bonding activities. We always love to felt together and making different things. Especially I can keep all her creations, and I will remember what she did, and it's great, like for me as a mom. So I'm going to dry off with a towel. This wet felt pieces is actually a piece of fabric once we finish, and the fabric, this felt, we can create different things. So from now I need to use a bamboo mat to roll it to create extra agitation, so then it will become more one piece together. So this summer, originally I have a 5-day summer camp at GCCA for both age group from 5 to 8 and 9 to 12. But since the summer camp will not reopen until later in July, so my 5-day camp will turn into a 1-day Zoom session on Tuesday, June 16, and will be an hour and a half. So I will let my students who log online, and it's great that the parents would like to join along, and they will kind to create some basic shapes out of wet felting. And depends on the age group, I will also give them the chance to work with needle felting, and we want to make sure that everybody get a chance to create. So this is my wet felted piece while I'm waiting for my daughter to finish her. Now she's adding the eye, and she's almost there. Can you take a look quickly? She's gonna add the eye. So we are creating a lot of geometrical shapes.
Yeah.
And this tool is really helpful, especially for the younger kids. They can help to line and create the shape precisely. And they can learn all different shapes at the same time and color. And while they do painting, they will learn about mixing and blending the color. So this Sunday, if you're still interested to start off with taking workshop at GCCA in person, this is the Spring Nature workshop this coming Sunday. And you can create different patterns like flowers or landscape. So this is for this Sunday. Oh, yes. This is the safeguard I get. So all my students, I will provide this clear shield so that everybody will be able to be more comfortably wearing this while doing the project, and you can easily to see through. So I feel this is much easier to create my work with this face shield. So I will provide it for my student. So this is this Sunday, if we get enough students to sign up, this will be the class. I'm looking forward to come back. Or if you want to wait a little bit later until June, there will be the wet felting workshops, June 14, I believe. It's a washcloth and also felted soap. So I love making the felted soap again for young kids because you can make it in a small size. If you are more in advance, you can also add some details on the soap. So they are actually encourage kids to wash their hand, and at the same time the wool can help to exfoliate as well. It will kind of stay on your hand. It's not going to slip off as easy. And lastly, it will dry it off really, really fast. You don't worry about the soap will just stay soaked on the next to the sink. Oh, looks like my daughter is finished. So it's just perfect. So in June, there is a one-day camp, and then this is the this kind of like a simple project felting for kids. So the kids can create like different shapes, and there's a lot more like a little penguin,
or a little bear,
like an owl,
ladybug.
So a lot of different things that they would like to do. So that's for the kids, and I also have one more for adults. This is the later in June. It's the Nuno silk scarf, and also the landscape in end of July for most of age group to create the 4 parts wool painting. So I'm happy to share what I enjoy, what I love. I hope you also enjoy. And here my daughter, she's really good at cleaning our tools. So yes, we do need to clean our tools when we finish, just like after we paint. Because when we needle felt, we have the wool pushing downward. We're kind of pushing some of the loose fiber in it. So we need to clean it off so then the wool will not stay under that. If we keep on poking, which means we kind of felting some of the loose wool inside. So it is good we have to clean them every time we finish, and also it won't transfer color. So if you have any different questions, you're welcome to ask me. I am more than happy to share, and I hope you enjoy our simple demonstration felting for kids. And this is a puppet. Let's say bye.
Bye. Click finish.